Giant house. He's in this giant house.
How did you get in there? How did you get in there?
And it's so soft. It is so soft. It is so soft. I'm gonna get in there with Everett. It's so soft, Mommy.
Good morning, everybody. We've started off the day here at the homestead. I have to work today, but first, feed the animals. Slop bucket ready here. Looks delicious. Now I've got some leftover pork loin that I'm going to give to the dogs. I could put it in the slop bucket for the pigs, but that's kind of unethical in my opinion. You can do it. I mean, I know people that do give leftover pork to pigs, but I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of wrong. It's been 3 days since I checked the chicken coop because there's 6 eggs. Had water, but like she's too short to reach it, so this should be good for today till I get home tonight. I gotta hurry and get ready for work. Meltdown Central.
Meltdown.
What's the matter, boy? We gotta go. You gotta stop being this way. Oh my goodness.
It's just the motor.
Okay.
What track can you go on, Mommy? What track?
Alright, I've got the boy. I've got this boy.
What if I drive it on the floor
Hey, we've got to go. We gotta go get in the truck. You ready?
Yep.
You need to find your jacket. Where's your jacket at?
I love this.
Boy. Okay. So, you guys have a little glimpse of kind of what our mornings are like. And I kind of want to just talk about working full-time and homesteading. We knew that this was going to be really hard, and it is really hard. I work, I tattoo for a living. I work 5 days a week, and Elmer works 5 days a week. And he is a maintenance man. And we have 2 days off together. So there were points in our lives and in our marriage where we didn't have 2 days off together. We just kind of worked our way to that point, to make our schedules that way. There was a long while where I think we only had Sundays off together, and we're also working opposite shifts at one point. Whenever you were at the winery, we were working opposite shifts. And so you have to, you gotta work up to that. And so since our schedules are synced, like Elmer leaves earlier and I get home later, but especially when the days get longer, we still have a few hours to get some things done, and then the weekends are like crunch time. That's whenever we do our projects. One really important thing is that Elmer and I both love doing this. This is our vision. This is what it's like. We are always thinking about the same goals and trying to accomplish those goals together. I don't really know how it would work if, say, like, you were into homesteading but your husband was not on board, or you're into homesteading and your wife wasn't on board. I don't know how that would work out because I couldn't do it by myself. Elmer gets up in the mornings and he will do, we kind of like split up the chores. So he will do half of them and then I'll do the other half, just so we make sure everybody's fed. It's all about investing your money and getting your infrastructure in place. And
well, it's not necessarily money either, it's time.
Yeah.
It's either money or time, one or the other, because things that take time are cheap, but things that are quick take a lot of money.
Exactly.
So it depends on which one you have more of. We have limited of both, so it's really hard.
Yeah, we have to find compromises in areas. So, like, you know, we have made fence posts out of, we have tons of cedars on our land, and we've made quite a bit of fence posts. What would you say, about 20 or so? Fence posts, maybe 20. But we need to get our fence up as soon as possible for the calves. So we're probably going to have to buy some fence posts.
Let's buy some big corn posts and stuff,
Yeah. So it's all about, you got to pick your battles, you know.
You do with what you
Definitely homesteading can be cheap, but it takes more of your time. Therefore, if you are working full time, it's going to take a lot more money, in a sense.
Yeah, because you don't have time to invest into finding the resources. Like, if I didn't work, I could go out and cut all the fence posts I needed, but, you know, we've cut what we have available here close to the house because I don't have time to go 8 hours a day cutting fence posts and other resources.
Yeah, and it's like we use the money, like entertainment money, I guess you'd say. Everybody has kind of like their stuff that they do, like they go out to eat, or they get their nails done, or they get their hair done. And all of that money for us, like, this is what we love. So all of that money gets put back into the homestead to invest to make it self-sustainable eventually. So one big thing is making sure that you have the time to devote to the things you take on. And we've kind of, we've learned the hard way with that. What would you say?
Yeah.
I would say probably if I could go back and do it again, I wouldn't have got the calves, the bottle calves. Would you?
Yes, I would have.
Elmer still thinks that he would have got the bottle calves. Well, like, we do really crazy stuff. Like the cows.
We're spontaneous. We're very spontaneous.
Very spontaneous. And like, I don't know, in one sense, I get, take it slow, take your time, don't rush into things. And I totally get that, especially with the calves.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I've made decisions in my life that if I didn't jump right then, if we didn't decide to do the business for the tattoo shop, if we didn't do it, then we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have a homestead. We wouldn't, have any of this.
Yeah.
So it's success doesn't come from just not taking chances.
Yeah.
But you got to be smart about it. You have to
do a little bit of research at least and kind of have an idea of what you're getting into.
Yeah.
We had looked into bottle calves or just regular calves off the bottle, but it was definitely a learning curve and
it was a huge learning curve. We were researching because of one of the babies had scours the first night we got him. And
for the first week,
I had no idea what scours was, and we were researching, trying to keep this baby alive. Like, we didn't even tell anybody really that we had the calves for like a couple weeks because we were afraid we were going to lose the little brown one. And Elmer, he got to where he wasn't suckling, and Elmer went out to Walmart in the middle of the night and got some aquarium tubing because the Tractor Supply was already closed, so we couldn't get the tubing to force feed him. So I found one article online on a cattle forum where it talked about how they force fed them in the 50s, where they put a tube down their nose and then force feed them that way. So Elmer went and got this aquarium tubing in the middle of the night and searched everywhere for it, finally got it, went to bring it home, and we had to rig it up to a transmission fluid funnel. It was a new funnel, but and then I was like, let me see if he'll eat real quick before we do this. And of course, he started suckling.
Yeah.
So, but it's just that kind of stuff. And like, we had to work the next day. We were up till 3:00 in the morning?
It was pretty late.
Yeah. So it's stuff like that. Another thing with working full time and homesteading, I am constantly educating myself. Elmer likes to educate himself too, but I am constantly listening to podcasts. I am constantly watching, other homesteaders. I'm constantly reading books. And so it's almost like I store all the information and then I tell Elmer how to do it. And it's pretty cool, like, working together that way, because he doesn't have to absorb it all. And then he's like the doer and I'm the thinker, I guess. So, homesteading and working full time, it's going to take dedication and either a lot of your time or a lot of your money or both. So I'm going to close with that. So we'll catch y'all on the next one.